Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tia, and in this video we're going to be working on this top that you see here. So this is a nice simple crop top that I'm making. It's just a nice summer top that I can wear with shorts, with jeans, with skirts, whatever it is that I want to wear this with. Is super nice. I could even wear this as a bikini top, but that's pretty much how it looks like. This is the front part of it here, okay, and this is the back part of it here, and it's very simple to do. I often, very often use very simple stitches. So here I pretty much use a back stitch, like a back loop, a single crochet, and a normal single crochet, and some stitches of chains and that, and things like that, and slip stitches here and there, but very easy stitches. And the reason I do this is because I know most of the people who follow me here are beginners, maybe intermediate, and if you're advanced it's also good, but I just want to make sure that I'm, showing people how to create a project that they're not going to find too complicated and too difficult to do. So yeah, so if you would like to see how I made this top, don't go anywhere. Go grab your materials and I will do so as well, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, my love, so before we get started, I'm going to show you all the materials that I needed for this project today. The first thing is yarn. I have this nice, very soft capri from Loops and Threads. It's 100 grams or 174 yards. It is a medium weight number 4. Recommended hook size is anywhere from 5.5 millimeters to 6.5 millimeters. And it is 57% cotton, 28% nylon, and 15% polyester. The mixture is very nice and comfortable to the touch. And what is the name of it here? It's called Bright Yellow. So yeah, this is Bright Yellow here. So this is what I will be using for this project. For my crochet hook, I'm actually going to be using a tiny bit smaller than what is recommended. I'm going to be using a 5 millimeter crochet hook. And I'm going to be using my tape measure here to measure the length of my torso, or the circumference of my torso. And what I'm doing with this is I'm making it all around, except I'm going to have about 5 inches, about 4 to 5 inches in the back that is going to be open so that I can do a strap for it. So that is an option for you. You can either measure your full torso and make this part that we're gonna be making here, which is the first part, to fully cover your torso like that, so that it's completely round, or you can do it so that it has a gap on the side like that. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm leaving a little bit of a gap in the end. And of course you're gonna need your scissors to be able to cut your strands at the end. Okay, all right, go grab everything that you need and let's go ahead and get started. All right, so to get this project started, we're going to start with a foundation chain. And to do so, we're going to do a slip knot first. So this is how I do my slip knot here, okay? Of course, go ahead and do a slip knot however you usually do it. That makes you comfortable, but that's how I do it. So that's my slip knot. And then I'm going to chain a chain of 21, okay? So 1, 2, 3, so that is my chain of 21 here. Now, this is a portion where you can make either less chains or more chains based on what you want. So this is the part of the top that's going to cover my torso, okay? So like kind of just right below my breast is going to kind of go like a bit like a big belt, just a little bit covering some of my belly button, and then just right underneath my breast, and it's gonna loop around my waist, okay? So this is an option for you. So if you want more coverage, if you want this part of the top to be a lot longer, then you would do more chains. And if you wanted it to just be a little bit of a smaller band, then you would also do less chains, okay? So this is, I would consider, kind of like in the medium portion of it, okay? And of course, we're making the top in small. So also if you're a little bit larger, then you would do more chains to be able to get the coverage that you require, okay? All right, now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and start with the first row. So this chain, the 21st chain that we did here, I'm going to skip that, and in this chain right next to it, I'm going to go in the back of that and do my single crochet just like that, okay? And then I'm going to go into the next stitch. Again, I'm going in the back of the chain, not the front. the back of the chain, I'm going to grab that. Oh, let me just redo that here. So there you go, like this. Grab that back and then just bring it back and do my single crochet. And I will show you here. So if you look at the chain, the front portion of the front part of the chain here has like a V's that are going down it. And if you flip it to the back, it's like bumps. Okay, so it's like these little bumps in the back like this. And so these are the bumps that we're picking up to do our single crochets. So again, you're just going to go in the back of that and grab that like that. And then you're going to bring it back in and do your single crochet. And you're going to do this all the way to the end of the chain. When you get to the end, you're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to start the next row, okay? So go ahead until you get to the very last one here and see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so that is the end of my first row here. Okay, so if you count your stitches, you should have 20 stitches at this point. Okay, and so to go ahead and start our second row, I'm going to chain one, turn my work, and then we're going to be working with the back loop only, but continuing to do our single crochet. So in the stitch right after our chain one, I'm going to do a single crochet, but going in the back loop only. So this is known as back loop single crochet. And then I'm just going to pick up on the second stitch and on this next stitch after that, and I'm just going to continue to do my single crochets going in the back loop, and this is going to create that rib effect to our work. So continue to do this again all the way to the end. And when you get to the end here, this is for those of you who follow me on my YouTube channel, you will realize that every time I do a stitch where I have to go in the back loop, for this final stitch here, I actually go through both loops like this. So I don't pick up the back one only, I go through both of them for the final stitch before I do. So I'll do my single crochet here, and then I chain one and I turn it around and I continue to do that, and I'll repeat that on this end as well. Okay, so this is pretty much, as you can see here, this is how your single crochet in the back loops look like. It creates like this ripple effect, which is super nice, and I love to use this stitch especially for things that you want to have a little bit of a texture and not just something that is super flat. You use this back loop, whether it's a single crochet, double crochet, you go in the back loop or half double crochet. Okay, so continue to do this again all the way to the end here, and don't forget to go through the both loops for the final stitch before you chain one and you repeat. So this is going to be a repeat stitch all the way until you get the size that you're looking for. So for me, I'm going to do about 80 to 85 rows, probably more like 80, because it's gonna cover my torso with just a little bit of a space left in the back of where I'm gonna do my strap. But you're going to go ahead and do however many rows that you require to cover you based on the size that you've measured that you are, okay? All right, so continue to do this. When you have the size or the number of rows that you require to cover your torso, come back to the video and I will show you guys how to move on to the next step, okay? So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, my love, so I've gone ahead and completed about 80 rows of these single crochet in the back loop, and as you can see here, it creates that wavy textured look to it. Okay, so this is pretty much how long it is. So the point is for me to eventually have it on my back like this with a little bit of a gap in the middle, and I'll be able to fill this in with a string that will be able to zip in and out of here. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing a back strap for the back, and it could be coming from the top and then connecting to the back. Okay, so this is pretty much here. So as you can see, I've also decided to go ahead and mark where I'm going to be starting my top to go in like this. And I marked on the 18th stitch on this side and 18th stitch on this side. And sorry, 18 rows, not stitches, but 18 rows. So I have 18 rows here, and on 18th row, I have my stitch marker, and the same thing on this side, okay? So with that said, oh, actually just one more thing before I finish. So when this is stretched, it actually stretches so much, you guys. This yarn is so elasticy. So when you're measuring yourself, make sure you account for the stretchiness as well. So like I said, I did 80 rows, which comes up to about 28 inches. And my back is, it comes to about 24 inches. my back or my torso, the circumference of it in total is about 29 inches wide. Okay, and so I did 24, so that extra 5 inches in the middle is going to be what I get for my strap. So this is where I'm going to be doing the strap. So that's how I measured my top. So you need to do the same. If you're looking to have a gap in the back, leave a couple of inches and then just do however many inches you need. And my 24 inches for this is when I fully stretch it. So when I'm fully stretch it, it comes to 24 inches. And because my waist is about 29 inches, then I have 5 inches to play with in the back for the strap. Okay. All right. So with all of that done, I'm going to move on to the next step here. So I'm going to finish this here by just kind of cutting this yarn off. So I'm just going to snap that off right there. And then we're going to fasten these off, and this is going to be done for this section for now. And then I'm going to bring in my work like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my yarn where the stitch marker is here. And I'm going to work a set of single crochet until I get to this stitch marker here. That's going to be just like to establish places for us to be able to do our stitches on. And when I have done that, then I'm going to go ahead and start my decrease of the top, which is pretty much what we're going to be starting in just a second here. Okay, so I have my yarn here. I'm going to start off with a slip knot as usual, because we need to be able to have it so that it's a working yarn from here. And I'm going to take my stitch marker off of here, and I'm just going to replace my hook with the stitch where the stitch marker was, and I'm going to put my yarn there, and I'm just going to pull it through to this side. Okay, just like that. And now that I have that, I'm going to chain one. Okay, and in that very same stitch here, I'm going to do a single crochet like that. Okay, and then I'm going to move on to the next stitch here and do a single crochet, and then move on to the next stitch here, do a single crochet, and the next stitch and do a single crochet, and the next stitch and do a single crochet. And I'm going to do these all the way until I get to the other stitch marker. When I get to this stitch marker here, come back and I'll show you guys what to do next, because we're going to change the stitch that we're using to be able to create the top part here. Okay, so go ahead and do your single crochets along the top here until you get to this stitch marker here. When you get here, come back to the video. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so I have completed that portion here. So as you can see, this is where we started off right here, and we did a single crochet all the way to here. So it leaves me with a couple of inches on this side and a couple of inches on the other side. That's gonna go like this. Okay, and I have also removed my stitch marker, so I just did the last one here, and the first one was where we marked it off here. So I can go ahead and put these guys to the side, and then I'm gonna show you guys what is gonna be your repeat row here. Okay, so now that we have that, we're going to chain one, and we're going to turn our work, and this is where we're gonna start to reduce our work right away so that it can start to build inwards like this. Okay, for this halter top. So from here, we're going to do a half double crochet in that stitch here like this. Okay, and then we're gonna move on to the next stitch here, and we're gonna reduce. So this is how we usually do our half double crochet and yarn through all three, but because we're going to be decreasing, okay, what we're going to do here is we're gonna go into the next stitch, bring it back, go right into the next stitch and bring it back. You're gonna end up with 4 stitches on the hook like that, and then you're going to go ahead and pull through all 4 like that. Okay, so you just reduced it on this side here, and then you're going to go ahead and continue to do your regular half double crochets across to where this part here is. And when you go into the very last one here, just go all the way through and do your half double crochet here, and then chain one, turn your work, and then increase from this side. Okay, so for now, go ahead to this side. When you about to get to the end here, come back to the video so I can show you how to decrease on that side as well. So yeah, so I will see you guys when you get to the end here, but go ahead and leave 2 stitches at the end, and I'll show you guys how to decrease at the end there as well. Okay, so give me 1 second here, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay guys, so I am 2 stitches away from the end here. Okay, so the reason I wanted you guys to come back at the end here is because I would like to show you how to decrease on this side as well. So to do so, we're going to do just a regular way that we would usually do a half double crochet, but instead of yarning over and going through all 3, we're going to go ahead and pick up that final stitch there as well. So now you have 4 loops on the hook like that, and then you're going to yarn over and go through all 4. Okay, so that's how you decrease on this side. Oops, let me just redo that here. For some reason, it's I'm just grabbing different strings. There you go. We're just gonna do it like this, play with it, bring it through. There you go. So that's how you reduce on this end as well here. And then you're going to chain 1, you're going to turn your work, and you're going to start to reduce on this side right away as well. So on this first one here, you're gonna pick that up after you chain 1 and turn. You have 3 loops on the hook. You're going to go into the next stitch and pick up 1 more loop like that. You end up with 4, yarn over, go through all 4, and then continue to do your half double crochets along the row until you get to the final 2. When you get to the final 2, you repeat what we just did right now in the previous row. Okay, so this is pretty much what you're going to do, and you're going to continue to do this until your work comes in like this, and this is the part that's gonna cover your breast, and then it's gonna go up to the neck area. And when you get to that area where you have just about 3 inches, 4 to 3 inches of a space left for where you just like in the base of your neck, then we're going to come back so we can do the straps for the top. Okay, so however many rows that gets you, go ahead and do that, and when you get that done, come back to the video and I will show you guys how to move on to the next step. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so I have gone ahead, and as you can see here, I did a number of rows to build up my work like this for the top. So I did about 22 rows total, and that's where I'm gonna stop because this is just wide enough to go right below my neckline. And so at this point, we're going to go ahead and create our straps, and we're going to do a really long strap here, and then we're going to do a slip stitch coming down the chain, and then we're going to do slip stitches in this section here, and then join our start another chain from here to be able to do a long chain from here as well. So again, your chain is going to be as long as you need it to be. So if you look at my top, this is pretty much the bottom part of it here, and this is the part that's gonna go like this behind my back. And then the straps that are going to go here are going to come down behind my back, and I can either have them coming straight and connecting here and then kind of looping around like this, or I can have them kind of cross each other like this, which is going to make a cross in the middle of my back, and that's gonna be to also just kind of cover this section here. Okay, all right, so without talking too much here, I'm going to show you how to do my chains. And because I want this strap to be extra long, I am going to do a chain of 120. And the reason I'm doing that is I like my chain to be really long, so I'm not struggling to try and pull it together at the end. And also when you do slip stitches down a chain, it does shorten the length of the chain a little bit. So we're going to pretty much kind of have a chain that is about the length of 100 chains, but because we're doing 20, so it's gonna get shortened a little bit. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go to doing my chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay guys, so I have completed my chain of 120 here. So as you can see, it is extremely long. Okay, so but because we're going to be working back down the chain by doing our slip stitches, we're probably going to lose about 6 to 7 inches, so about that much we may lose. That's why I want you to do a long one. Also, if you want to keep your strap this thin and just have it kind of look that thin, you can actually just leave it like this. So you don't actually have to work the slip stitches down the chain to make it thicker. The reason I'm doing that is it makes it a little bit thicker. But like this, you can also keep it. And because it's like this, it's actually also really stretchy. but the more we do slip stitches on it, the elasticity of it is going to reduce a little bit as well. Okay, so that is your choice. So if you were to just do a chain like this and leave it like this, then you would of course cut your yarn here, fasten these off, and then just come and connect to your yarn right here, and then do the same thing on this side, and that will be the end of it. Okay, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you guys how to do the slip stitches going down this chain here. Okay, all right, so now that I have my 120 chains here, I'm going to do one more to make it 121. It's just so I like to have even numbers. So we're going to be skipping the one we just did now, and in this next one here we're going to do a slip stitch just down, going down the chain like that. So that's a slip stitch, and then we're going to go to the next stitch and then do another slip stitch, and then go to the next stitch and do another slip stitch. And as you can guess by now, that's what we're doing. We're just doing slip stitches all the way down this chain until we get back to here. So I would like you guys to go ahead and do that. Work down your 120 chains until you get to the base here where we started off. When you get to here, come back and I'll show you guys how to do the slip stitches across here. We could either choose to do slip stitches or just single crochet, whichever one that's going to look nicer. And then when we get to this end, we're going to again do our 120 chains on this side and then repeat the same thing. So go ahead and work down your slip stitches, and when you get here, come back and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, my loves, so I have pretty much done my slip stitches coming down my chain all the way here back to the base of where we started the chains. And as you can see here, I have one more slip stitch to do just right here, this final stitch here, like that. Okay, and now we're going to work our one more row here of single crochet, and then when we get to this last stitch here, we're going to repeat what we did on this side. Okay, so I'll show you how to do your single crochets. So right after you finish doing a slip stitch under your very last stitch here, you're going to just go right into the next stitch and then do your single crochet. Okay, and then go to the next stitch and do your single crochet, and then the next stitch, and so on and so forth. And as you can see, that's how your work should look like on this end here. Okay, with your nice long chain that will go behind and tie to the bottom part of your top here. Okay, so I will not show you guys how to complete this all the way. Actually, I will. Let me just do that because it's not too far. So and that way I can show you exactly where you put your last single crochet before you start doing your chains. And then I'll have you guys do your chains, 120 chains, 21 at the end, 121 at the end, and then you do your slip stitches coming back down. So as you can see, there's one final stitch right here in the corner. So make sure you go into that and do your single crochet. And now that you have that, then you can go ahead and do your chain of 121. Okay, so go ahead and do that. When you get to the top and you've done your 121, then come back down, skip the first stitch. In the second stitch, do your slip stitches, and you're going to replicate exactly what we did on this side, and you'll have your long chain over on this side to be able to tie your top together at the end. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this off camera as well. And what I will do is I will weave in my ends while I'm off camera. So make sure you do the same. So I'm going to weave these here on, weave it in. I'm going to weave this section here in, and I'm going to weave this section here in. Okay, so those are the three spots that I'm going to be weaving it, and of course the last strand that I'm going to be cutting here. If you have more strands because you connected your yarn somewhere, make sure you weave them all in. And I'm also going to go ahead and put my strap together in the back. And what I do is I just find gaps. So the first one, my first strap, when it comes down, is gonna go right here, the very first part here. And then I'll probably do one or two more in the middle, and then a final one is gonna go on this final hole or spacing in the bottom here. And I'm going to repeat that exactly the same on this side as well, and that's how a strap is going to be. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I will see you guys at the end. Okay, my lovelies, welcome back. So I have gone ahead and completed the top. So as you can see here, this is pretty much how the back is going to look like. So I decided I would do an X like this. Sometimes I'll just bring the yarn straight down like this to these straps, and then kind of weave it, like zigzag it here for the back part of the top. And that's pretty much it, you guys. So your top should look something like this. Obviously, maybe different colors, maybe different sizes. But this is pretty much the gist of how your top should look like. As you can see here, this strap will stretch when I put it on. I just put it like this because it's not on, but even this bottom part here will stretch quite a bit. Actually, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. If I could have done the strap a little bit longer. So if you're in this section and you're still working on your strap, you could probably increase it a little bit. This is 120. And then I did 121, and then I did a slip stitch down, so I kind of shortened it a little bit, but this will still be okay because when I have these on, I will probably end up having just a little bit of a space to tie this here, and that's okay. So I don't have to worry about redoing it or anything like that. But just FYI, to make sure you make your strap really strong, really big, not strong, but also strong. But anyways, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and making this top with me. And it's a nice summer top. It's very light, and this yarn is so stretchy that it's gonna look really nice, and you will see in the pictures how beautiful this looks on. And you can wear this pretty much with anything. You can wear it with shorts for the summer. You can wear it with anything like jeans, like, you know, whatever you want to wear it with. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video and working on this project with me to the end. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so, and make sure you comment and like. And if you have any questions at all, please ask me. If you look into the description box, I will have the information of everything that I use for this project. But also I have my links to my social medias like Instagram and Facebook, and you will find me there as well. And you can see some of the pictures of things I've done in the past. Okay, thank you so much, you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao.